some chats. I didn't see the chats. Hello. Okay, so we're going to start with the teacher training now. And just so everyone knows, we are recording this session and it is live on Facebook. So if you don't want your video showing, please turn off your video and mute yourself, but otherwise it might show your video or your audio. Okay, let's see. My computer is being a bit slow today. Okay, hello. So today we're looking at educational ethics. Okay, so our objective for today, oh, I went too far, is that participants will develop their own code of educational ethics and apply them to ethical dilemmas. Sounds very philosophical, but okay, some community guidelines. We are happy that you are here, so thank you for joining us. Please make an effort to arrive on time, but if you are late, please join in as you are able to. I also realize some people might have technical difficulties, and which is totally fine. If you get kicked out, you can join back in, and we'll try and accept you as fast as possible. Mute yourself when you're not talking so there's not background noise, so we can hear everyone. But remember to unmute yourself if you do want to talk, obviously. Please complete the self-paced interactive slides. They were sent in the first email and they can be found in the Google Slides or on Facebook, in the Facebook group. Also, I will be sending out a post-class evaluation form for you to fill in. So it'd be very much appreciated if you fill it in. This will help us use your feedback to kind of revise and develop the course. If you have any questions or technical issues during the session, you can also send us an email, info.hett@gmail.com. Okay, so most of you should know me, but my name is Lisa Vance. I will be leading this kind of class or training. I previously was in Myanmar doing some teacher training. I've also worked as an English language teacher, and I've also taught worked as an environmental education facilitator. And Kathleen, would you like to introduce yourself? She will be my kind of co-host and helping out with things.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Greiwe. I'm an English teacher and Spanish teacher. I'm currently located in the US, but I've also taught in Mexico and online.
Cool, very cool. Okay, what is ethics? Can anyone tell me what ethics means or what it is?
Ethic is, I think, moral principles of a person.
Good, principles of a person, good. That's a good definition. Anyone else want to share their definition of ethics?
And ethics means a general ideal of belief that influence people's behaviors or attitudes.
Good, excellent. Okay, So I would say that's all correct. So there are different definitions of ethics. It's a branch of moral philosophy. So ethics is a branch of philosophy. It is a concept of what is right and what is wrong. So everyone kind of has their own idea of what is right and what is wrong in this world. My view of what is right and wrong might not be the same as yours. It is a set of rules adopted and upheld by a group of people. So maybe within a certain community, there's kind of what's right, what's wrong. Maybe being a teacher, or maybe being in your town, like there's certain kind of cultural rules that you should follow, or you feel that you should follow. A set of moral principles. So morals is again kind of what you kind of feel is right or wrong. An explicit code. So sometimes you can actually have a code of conduct. Or it could be an individual idea of how you should act. So how I feel I should act. So code of educational ethics. So educational ethics are ethics for teachers. The code or list presents a moral principles that guide teachers as they work. A code of ethics can help teachers remember what is most important to them about their job, decide what to do in a difficult situation. Okay, so we're going to look at some sentences, some kind of ethical codes, and I would like you to use the participant function. There is a yes button under participant or a no button. So for each sentence, I would like you to say if you think it is an important code of ethics, or if it's not really important for you. So remember, it is for yourself. What do you value? What do you think is important? It doesn't have to be the same as everyone else. It's what you think is important. Okay, so educators are proud of their profession. Do you think that's really important to you or not so important to you? Okay, I see one yes. So again, under participants, there's a yes or a no. And again, it's about yourself, so you don't have to agree with all of them. Okay, so I have 3 answers so far. So if you're having difficulty finding it, if you click at the bottom bar, it says participants, and there should be a circle, a green circle with a check, or a red circle with an X. So green means you very much agree with it. Red is, it's not so important to you.
Yes.
Okay, so I have 6 people. I'll give you another 30 seconds to answer. 7 people? Okay, good. Let's clear it all. We'll go to the next one. Teachers constantly seek to improve themselves through professional development. Is that very important to you or not so important to you?
Yes, important.
Okay. So a check mark if it's important, an X if it's not as important. Okay. Give you 30 more seconds. Let's do the next one. So I'm going to clear it for everyone. Teachers plan the best lesson they can for their specific students. Is that very important for you or not as important? We'll wait 30 more seconds. So I'm going to clear that. Teachers make sure everyone has high quality education. Is that very important to you or not as important to you? Do the next one. Okay, next one. Teachers are not scared to try new things. Do you really agree with that one or not as much?
Yes.
So again, it's just your personal opinion about what you find the most important. Okay, good. Hear it all. Oh. Okay. Teachers build relationships with their students and the community. Do you think that's very important or not as important? Very important. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to clear all. Next one. Teachers are involved in solving community problems. Do you think that's very important or not as important? So if there are issues in the community outside of school, do you think it's important that teachers help solve them? Just wait a couple more seconds. Yeah, I'm getting a few comments. It's important, but not very, a little. Okay. I'm going to clear all. Teachers protect their students' rights. So teachers protect their students like human rights or like, yeah, human rights. Do you agree with that very much or not as much? It's not as important. Okay, so I'm getting lots of very much, yes. Okay. Teachers promote a sustainable future. So a future that will continue, like maybe environmentally sustainable, or a future that can continue on for the students. Is that very, 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 very important? Sorry, is that very important? I said very a lot, or not as important. Okay. Very much. Getting a couple of comments. Teachers encourage their students to think about all people, not just themselves. So is that very important for you or not as important? So I'm getting a little not important. Some people are saying yes, I have a no in there. So, okay, good. Teachers listen to international organizations. So that could be international teaching organizations, or maybe it's the UN, or it's any kind of body at the international level. Do you think that's very important or not as important? Oh, that one seems to get some mixed answers. Okay, so as you can tell, like, ethics are a very personal thing. So what my ethics are as a teacher might be different from what your ethics are as a teacher. So we might have different values and different views about what it means to be ethical as a teacher, and that's okay, as long as we try and follow our own kind of ethical code of what we believe in. So I follow what I believe in to be right, and you follow what you believe in to be right. So in groups, you will write your own code of ethics for teachers. So you'll just write a sentence at a time, kind of like how we did here. So just one sentence, and then submit, and you can write a different sentence. So you can write as many sentences as you can think of in the given time. Just submit another response each time. So use the Pear Deck to record your ideas in your group. We will look at them in a large group and talk about how to apply them in challenging situations. So your group together will come up with some shared sentences of kind of things that they ethically believe in. Make them different than these sentences, so not the same. If you have any questions or technical difficulties, you can send an email to us at info.hett@gmail.com. As you submit your responses, think about the following questions. As a teacher, who am I responsible for? What are the most important parts of my job? How can I become the best teacher I can be? How should I respond in difficult situations? So try to phrase your code with action verbs. So if you noticed here, oops, I'm doing a bad job, but listen, encourage, promote, those are all protect. Those are all action verbs. So think of action verbs and sentences that you could agree on as a group. Okay, so just to check, are you submitting a sentence at a time or a paragraph at a time? One sentence at a time or one paragraph at a time?
One sentence.
One
Yeah,
sentence.
Just one sentence at a time. And how many sentences can you submit?
As much as I can.
Yeah, as many as you can. You do it as a group, so we'll put you in groups. And we'll give you a Pear Deck link. And then we'll give you about 10 minutes to go through and submit them and talk in your group and see which ones you agree to, and you submit it together. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second so I can kind of put you in groups and everything. Okay. So I'm going to put the link to the Pear Deck right there. And, oh, actually, I'll share again, just quickly. So if you look here, being slow at opening. So if you see here, you can answer right here. So code of ethics, what's a sentence? Teachers protect the health and safety of their students during school times. And then you hit enter. Oh, sorry, add another response, and you can add another one. So you can just do one sentence at a time. Okay, I'll put everyone into breakout rooms. So we have 15 people. So I'm going to put you in 15 for, I'm trying to think. Angela, I might leave you out, and Kathleen, if you guys, I'll put you in, but if you guys could come back out to the main room, it would be much appreciated. So we have 14, 13. So we can just put you in 2 groups. I'm just going to put you in 2 groups so you can kind of work together. Maybe let's do 3 groups. Okay, so you have 10 minutes. Please go to the room. Do you want to share your screen, Kathleen? I'm just going to quickly look at Facebook, actually, and then I'll check on everyone. Maybe I should have done 2 rooms. We lost a lot of people going to the room somehow.
I was confused because I thought you said you didn't want me to stay in that room, so I left and came back to this room. But I was confused.
No, that's okay. No, that's what I wanted. But I mean, I had 15 people, and now I only have 10 people in the class.
Oh, so like 5 of them left.
Yeah, they must
Maybe
have had
they
issues.
Yeah, that's our state. Maybe they couldn't figure out how to get into the breakout rooms.
I think it does it automatically. So
Yeah, it does if you wait, but they might not have waited long enough. You
But
have
then
to click the button when it first pops up, but if you don't, then it automatically puts you in there. But maybe they were kind of nervous too about the breakout rooms.
I think so. I think they get a bit nervous about them. A few of them have told me that they like them, but it makes them nervous. So I'm gonna go take a look. Hello. Oh, you're muted. Can you unmute? Can anyone unmute? Oh, hello. So, hello. So can you guys open up the link and write down some ethics, some sentences that you think are important to being a teacher? So if you click on the link in the chat, do you see the chat? And if one of you wants to share your screen, then when you share your screen, you can then share your answers with each other. Okay, good, excellent. Okay, yeah, and that way you can talk about them as you answer them. So you guys can discuss together. Excellent job. I'm going to go to the next room.
လုပ်ပဲပေါ့အဲ့လိုမျိုးအဲ့လိုမျိုးလေး response လုပ်ချင်ပါတယ်ပေါ့နော် difficult situations တွေကို
avoid ပေါ့
ဟုတ်ဟုတ်ဟုတ်
ခုနဘာပြောတာလဲ
Hello. So are you able to share your screen? You guys can talk about the answers if you'd like.
We haven't talked in our group, only typing and answering the question.
Okay, so yeah, if one of you wants to share, you can also like share your answers and discuss what you're writing.
Now?
If you would like, and we'll share as a whole group, but you can talk to each other about your answers if you'd like.
Yes. So hello, any others? Thank you much, and
Hello.
Teacher Vilma.
It's hard because sometimes people are muted or their video isn't working. So, oh, just 1 second. Let me leave the room. Oh, did you ask for help?
Yes.
So have you answered the question? It's
Yes.
a four question.
I answer my question, but I don't know how to send it.
Oh, it's if you hit the next button, it should send automatically. But if you want to share it with your group, then you can share your screen and then you can discuss with your group by sharing your screen.
Yes.
But we only have a few seconds left and then we'll look at it as a group, as a whole group.
Yes.
So we're going to go back to the main session now. Just wait for everyone to come back. Okay, so we're going to look at some of the answers that people wrote. Okay. So as a teacher, I'm responsible for my students. The most important parts of my job are teaching fluently and preparing lectures and motivating students to pay attention. I can be the best hard work by improving my language skills and practicing every day. I should respond with patience, hard work, and understanding in difficult situations. Okay, that sounds good. I am responsible for my students' learning. I listen and teach the student. I am responsible for the learners in my class and my previous classes. As a teacher, I explain the lessons and help them study more. To support student learning. I think I'm echoing back, so I'm gonna just mute everyone. The most important part of my job is to meet the objectives of my lessons, to be the ideal person of students, or I think should be ideal person for my students. I can become the best teacher by adjusting my lessons to the needs of the students and by obtaining the minimum standard of my school. Okay, good. Explaining lessons, giving feedback, and asking to make peer discussions on topics. I should respond in difficult situations by considering the safety of my learners, privacy, and their rights. To negotiate with other parties to avoid bullying, dishonesty, and neglect. Understand the rights, oops, sorry. Where am I? Oh, I think it got, to understand the rights and psychology, upgrade the technical skills. In difficult situations, I think sharing knowledge and making discussion is better than one solution. Be patient and respect the students. So yeah, those are all good examples of different ethics or codes of ethics that people can have for themselves as educators. So think about your own code of ethics. Think about what you just wrote down. Think about what you believe. And it can be your choice. So there is a student in your class with a chronic illness. He walks with a limp, so his legs don't work correctly, and he stutters when he speaks, so he doesn't speak clearly. The disease is not contagious, but the other students all avoid him. They make fun of him and laugh at him behind his back. As a teacher, does anyone have anything that they would say or do in a situation like this? Make sure to unmute yourself if you do decide to answer. So you can just tell me. What do you think you would do?
So firstly, I would like to ask that student if he or she wants to study alone or not. So if he doesn't want to study alone, he wants to study with other students, I will negotiate other students to support him.
Okay, good, good. It's excellent. And does anyone else have anything that they would do that would be different? Nope.
I think that perhaps you could have maybe a lesson, like a health lesson on different diseases or like ailments, and perhaps include that in it. And then that way it's like educational and it teaches them about that student as well as others. And, you know, the facts that it's not contagious. And then maybe also you could throw in at a different time, maybe like character education.
Okay, good, yeah. Anyone else? Okay, let's move to the next one. A student in your class is always very stressed. She runs into class at the last minute and is almost late. She does her work, but you can tell she did not take her time to do it well. One day, she is very distracted. She is not listening while you teach. What would you do?
So firstly, the teacher, if I were the teacher for her, I have to find out her problem. Maybe her family has a problem, or maybe she has a other problem like with her friends because of her boyfriend, or I don't know why. So firstly, I find out her problem and discuss with her.
Okay. Anyone else? Does anyone else have something different? Okay. Next one. A student is not doing very well in your class. He is working very hard, but his grade is very bad. If he does not pass this class, he will not be able to graduate. He just turned in his final paper, and you have to grade it to say if you'll pass or fail. What would you do?
He's not doing well in the classroom, but he is working at home. So he will fail because if he would fail, it might not answer to other students.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, we don't know why he's not doing very well. Maybe he just doesn't understand. Maybe he's busy at home. Yeah, like you don't really know why. Maybe you could ask some questions.
So from my style of view,
his final paper is good, and like touch the rule, touch the how can I say, mind creative system. So I will pass for him.
Okay. I will say something that's quite common in Canada that they sometimes allow for students, but again, this is Canada, is to maybe get the student to do an extra assignment. So if he's close to passing, like give him an extra assignment to try and get extra marks for the class. And I know sometimes that's something that's okay to do here at a university level, but it really depends on the program. Some programs have really strict rules that you're not allowed to do that. It really depends. An ethical, I just wanted to point out an ethical issue that I've heard about in Myanmar is that sometimes, I don't know about the universities, but I think at other schools or something, I've heard stories of teachers not making a lot of money and then students paying them to give them the answers for exams. And I do think it is difficult because I don't think you should give out, this is my personal opinion, you're not supposed to give out answers for exams. But if people are not making a lot of money, I do understand the difficulty in that. I do think it is quite difficult if people aren't making very much money. And it kind of indicates that they need paid more if they're doing that. And to me, that would be the solution. But that's kind of an ethical dilemma that I've heard about in Myanmar. Okay, why is it important to be ethical as an educator? So why is it important to follow your own code of ethics?
I think it's important because it's important to stay true to yourself, but also important because you are teaching many generations, and therefore, you know, it's important to instill ethical behavior in them, and by modeling that, then you are teaching that.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share why they think it's important to be ethical as an educator?
There is no, for some cases, there is no, there are no laws and regulations. So as a teacher, teacher must decide which is wrong or which is true. So it is very important.
Good. And someone wrote, if someone has no ethics, he or she has no respect to others. Yeah, I think those are all good reasons. And again, it's kind of your own values. Like if they don't have to be the same, you don't even have to have the same, your personal ethics do not always have to align with what your university or school wants. Like you might have different ethics and that's okay. You can disagree. Okay. So here are some reasons. So strengthen your beliefs, treat your students fairly, model ethical behavior for your students, respond consistently in difficult situations. And yeah, I think if you follow your own code of ethics, you'll feel more proud of yourself, like happy with yourself and proud of yourself. Okay, so we are finished. So we finished a few minutes early. So afterwards, I will send out an email for course feedback. It would be much appreciated if you would fill that in, and if you had any suggestions, so that we can take them into consideration for next week. I will also send an invitation to join the Google Classroom if you have not already joined. And I'm posting all of the slides, the activities, videos, everything in the Google Classroom. And someone asked me in the feedback, I don't know if it was for this one or the research writing, if the self-paced trainings are mandatory. No, so nothing is mandatory. It's just if you would like to look at them or complete them, it's the same as this class. It's not mandatory. It's just if you would like to attend. So it's up to you, and it is not mandatory. So next week's topic, we're going to move into module 2, which is around assessing needs. So this was kind of just an introduction to education, introduction to the very basics of education. And next week we'll be looking at how to assess needs. And we'll start off by looking at multiple intelligences. Okay. And if you want to see the syllabus, you can join the Google Classroom, and the syllabus is posted in there, although it might change a little bit. Are there any questions? Okay, if there's no questions, here are some of the resources that were used. I will post these slides later if you want to take a look. So thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Teacher. Bye.
Bye-bye.